My
No.
name is Maggie Dickinson. I am with Running Zone and Running Zone Foundation, and it is my pleasure to talk with you today on the last day of the Spring into Fitness Challenge. I am so excited that you've come this far and we're just finishing up. And what I am going to talk to you today is making health a habit, about where do we go going forward from here. So, first of all, I mentioned I work at Running Zone. So at Running Zone, I have the opportunity to talk with um, people there on a regular basis. I meet people quite frequently who have lost 20, 50, 100 pounds, and they've done it just from making small changes. Keith, you can go ahead and go to the next slide. It's by just doing, minor things every day that they make huge life changes. And so it's the perfect time to just stop and say, where do we go from here? If my weekly activities are going to stop now with the Spring into Fitness Challenge coming to an end tomorrow, what am I going to do? Where am I going to look for an opportunity to be healthier as I go forward? So that's what we're going to talk about today. The next slide, Keith, is the ABCs of healthy habits. So there's action. We're going to talk about banishing the diet and committing to being healthier. So, Keith, if you flip to the next one. So, action, exercise. If I had it my way, I would have put action behind banishing the diet. But since A comes before B, we're going to start here. So action, we're talking about just moving every day, making it fun, make it something that you can sustain on a regular basis and experiment with it. Yoga, Zumba, pickleball, belly dancing, walking in the mall, walking with people in your neighborhood. I'm kind of on a kick lately of, bringing neighborhoods together. Put a flyer on people's mailbox, not in, just put it where the flag is, put it on. And, see if anybody wants to start a walking group in the evening or the morning. And then the other thing is notice how you feel when you exercise. So years ago, my kids asked me if I wanted to do a 5K. And I am of the school that if my kids ask me to do something, the answer is almost always yes. You want me to do something with you? I'm happy to. So I would sign up for a 5K and do my best to keep up with them to make sure they were safe. And I'll tell you, the rest of the day, I felt good. I couldn't believe it. I felt better mentally, emotionally, and physically after I, ran, quote unquote, a 5K that day. Maybe I didn't even run it. Maybe I walked it as fast as I could. So, so that's the first thing is action, is finding a way that you can exercise every day and make it fun. I just made a screen here of, there's so much to do every day that's free and or cheap. These first four bullets here are Running Zone's weekly walks and fun runs that they have. And then after that, Long Doggers, I know, has a running club. These are all completely free. You just show up and you walk and run. There's always people going at different paces. People always go the pace and distance that's comfortable for them. I know Satellite Beach Library is starting a walking book club starting tomorrow. There's pickleball lessons in Melbourne that are $5 for a lesson. And I would be willing to bet that most of the municipalities up and down the coast have similar programs. So this is just to give you some ideas of stuff that's going on a regular basis that you could just go ahead and join in on. So next, we'll talk about banishing the diet and just going for being healthier. So I would love for you to just think about considering the benefit of every food choice you make. Obviously, not to be obsessive about it in any way, shape, or form. I put down the word crowd out here, crowd out unhealthy foods. What does that mean? It means get so much healthy food in your diet that you don't have a lot of room for chips or ice cream or soda. So, you get up and you have a healthy plate of eggs and vegetables and, other stuff that's good for you. So, you go to the office and you're full. You don't want donuts or birthday cake or whatever is sitting on the table there. And with every food choice, I mean, and of course, I don't want to be obsessive. I don't want anybody else to be obsessive, but just to think positively about what am I adding to my life with this food choice. And so, for example, if I'm at work and it's 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, I'm hungry, and there's chips on the table, that's an option. I could have a bag of chips. I'll look in the refrigerator, if there's carrots and hummus, I'll have carrots and hummus instead. Can have carrots, which are healthier for me, anti-inflammatory, fight cancer, better for, my health overall. Hummus has protein in it. It's going to maybe give me, maybe a little bit of healthy energy that I need to finish out the day. If I have chips, which I could certainly have a bag of chips and it's not going to kill me, but what are the chips going to do to improve my health and my productivity that day? I literally do this every day. And I'll just sort of think, all right, do I want to have that donut? I think I do. I think maybe I'll just have, a cup of green tea instead. And, and, I think about how much better that is for my health that day. And then you string a whole bunch of those days together and it makes a big difference. What's on my next screen, Keith? Oh, Jack LaLanne. I had to mention Jack LaLanne. I'm obsessed with this man. All right, so we all know I'm dating myself here by talking about Jack LaLanne. He died several years ago in his 90s. So Jack LaLanne, for his 70th birthday, pulled 70 boats with 70 people for 1 mile with his hands and his feet shackled. So you could see why I'm obsessed with this man.
I actually remember that too.
Here's what I've heard from him in the past that I kind of always keep in my conscience. So, the FDA recommends 5 fruits and vegetables every day, as part of your healthy daily requirement. So, years ago, I kind of used to keep that in my mind, have I had my 5 fruits and vegetables today? And that was good for me because I was sort of, learning to eat healthier and making positive changes. And so, I read an article where they interviewed Jack LaLanne and he eats like 15 fruits and vegetables every day. And so that's really crowding out. If you're eating 15 fruits and vegetables every day, you don't have a whole lot of room for any junk in there. And he was a real advocate of eating healthy, whole food and not processed food. That was one of his biggest things. So anyway, I look at that as inspiration, both to say, I have so much room for growth. No matter where you're at today in your life, there's always room to take another step in a healthier direction. The other way I look at this is like, the sky is the limit. I mean, however old you are today, however much you weigh today, whatever your health goals are, there's always improvement and there's so much room to grow. There's so much room to grow further than I even think is possible. I don't know that I could imagine I could swim the English Channel for 1 mile at 70 years old, never mind pulling 70 people in 70 boats. So anyway, I just think that this is an inspiration in many ways, shapes, and forms that we shouldn't limit our capabilities and our ways that we can grow. And the last slide here is to commit to a healthy lifestyle, to saying today, as we finish the Spring into Fitness Challenge tomorrow, Where do I go from here? What choices am I going to make? And most importantly, how do I achieve them? So find a posse to walk, run, dance, lift with, get a partner. Join something where you'll be missed if you don't show up, where if you're not there for your workout, your walk, your run, your dance, whatever you're doing, somebody's going to think about you, maybe worry about you, and maybe even be a little bit ticked off that you didn't show up. Somebody who's going to be relying on you to meet their health goals. There's a lot to be said for that. I've done that myself in the past. When I was laying in bed at 5:20 in the morning, and I knew my friend Janice was going to be out in the street waiting for me at 5:30, there wasn't an option about whether or not, I was going to get out of bed that morning. It was just something I did, and I didn't think about it. And I had that point in my life where I knew for my physical, emotional, and mental health, I had a bit of a crisis where I knew I had to get out of bed in the morning and I had to go exercise. And that was 20 or 30 years ago. And I mean, what an amazing difference it's made in my life that I took that action and got out of bed at 5:30 in the morning. Of course, I'm a Florida girl now, so it's not like I had to get up at, 5:30 in the morning when it was 20 degrees out. But, making those decisions and taking those actions every day strung together leads to lifelong change.